Today on Animal Outtakes, we're focusing on animals with special needs and what goes into taking care of them. Meet a plucky pig whose inspirational story has gone viral.
Nobody was in his corner, so I was his voice, and I spoke for him.
And you've heard of Winter the dolphin. Now meet the man who helped recreate her missing tail. Lou, I told you, you're not getting one. I don't care what all the other birds are doing.
Guys?
But that's not fair, Masha. I don't just want it. I need the new iPhone.
Hello? Guys?
Oh, sorry about that, folks. Hello, and welcome back to another great episode of Animal Outtakes.
Yeah, what's so great about it?
Lou?
Well, look at this thing. Worthless. A bird can't even make a phone call on this thing.
How may I help you, Lou?
See? Who's this? I didn't call this woman.
Why does that bird have a cell phone at all?
Lou, you don't need a new phone. You should consider yourself lucky. A lot of animals have real needs that they have to deal with.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, Mother Nature isn't always perfect. And just like with people, sometimes pets have physical challenges that they must learn to overcome.
Aw, you mean like Lou's ridiculous beak?
There ain't nothing wrong with my beak, Butterhead.
Okay, stop it, you two. This is very serious. Luckily, there are creative people and innovative people out there who are making life a little easier for these animals. Today, we'll introduce you to a few who have stepped up to help these pets with their special needs.
Aw, poor little guys.
Yeah. And we animals are always so cute, too.
I'm not sure I understand.
Would you shut up?
It can be fun to add a new member to the family, especially the four-legged kind. But just like people, sometimes our best friends have medical issues that can make life tough for them. Well, Nicole, who do we have here?
This is Seal Pup.
Uh-huh. Seal, we would call medically challenged.
Yes. This dog was paralyzed or apparent paralysis from the waist down when we got her. She only dragged herself along but the forearms, and that's why I called her Seal Pup.
Nicole Hetherington is a foster parent for Underdog Rescue of Florida, based in Bradenton. She has been helping nurse Seal Pup back to health and preparing her for her forever home.
I've been treating her mostly holistically with homeopathy and glucosamine and antioxidants and...
Any acupuncture?
Not yet, no, but she's coming along really well. And so yes, she's physically ready. We started out taking her in the wagon for walks because she wanted to go with the other dogs. She'd perk up when we got the leashes. So I wanted to treat her like the other dogs, but she couldn't make the walk. After a while she could just take a few steps at a time, and now she does go on a full walk around the block.
Sometimes those scars are more mental than physical.
She has a fear of men, or should I say a negative response towards men, because I believe she was abused by a man.
Yes.
Yes. She would, snap at the males in my family is a challenge, so.
How's she doing now?
Well, now she's actually doing much better. She used to bark whenever my husband came in. She would go, woo, 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 woo. But now she knows that he's someone that she can trust, so she's much better. I don't know that they have a cognitive memory as you and I do, but what they have is, pathways that have been carved on their neural network. And those have to be rewritten. And that takes time. That's why it would take somebody's commitment to rewrite those pathways. She's physically ready for when the right person comes along that is ready to make that commitment to her. So
just a little rewiring and she's on her way.
Yeah, exactly.
In the animal world, the chimpanzee is our closest relative, sharing 98% of our genetic makeup. Do they get the same diseases we do?
Everything, their DNA is so close to us that they, colds, flus, things like that, they pick up very easily.
So you, in turn, as you administer to them, have to be very, very careful. I
Yes,
would
we
imagine
do.
if you have a cold or something like that, you kind of stay away.
We do, and in fact, if we stay home, I ask the care staff that take care of them if they are sick. But if they're feeling better but not contagious, we still wear masks and gloves if we're preparing food and doing anything to help them.
Patty Reagan, the director of the Center for Great Apes in Wauchula, Florida, says a cold isn't the only human illness her caregivers are dealing with. They're also treating a few primates who suffer from diabetes. And then there's another very special ape who calls the center home. You have some special needs here also, don't you?
We have a little chimpanzee that came out of Hollywood. He was sent to us when he was 2, and he had cerebral palsy. And he presents very much like a human with CP has. It's not a disease, it's a condition from a lack of oxygen during the birth process. He's a bright boy, but he has some physical handicaps.
Is that Knuckles?
That's Knuckles, yes.
Knuckles had problems with his vision, motor skills, and muscle control, and early testing didn't leave much hope for improvement. But Knuckles exceeded expectations and was even able to live with other apes for a short time.
He actually cannot live with chimps anymore. He did when he was little, but as he's older and they're much bigger and stronger, it would not be safe for him. So he does interact with several chimpanzees here. He's known through the mesh, and he loves that. And then our care staff, we don't actually handle the apes here because they're all quite big, and they've come to us out of situations where they became too large or too dangerous for people to be around. But Knuckles still does get physical therapy every day.
And still ahead on Animal Outtakes.
He does not know that he's handicapped, does he?
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't even know he's a pig. So for him, he's just, one of the family.
We'll introduce you to a pig whose special tale is inspiring people across the globe.
And she's probably the most famous dolphin in the world. We're talking with the man who gave Winter a new tale to tell.
Well, it's that time again. Time for the second annual Top Dog competition.
Yay! What is that?
Top Dog is the area's premier dog lovers event, featuring categories like Best Dress,
I can do that.
Best Hair,
Maybe not my thing.
and Best Kisser
Don't even think about it.
at the Sarasota Municipal Auditorium on Saturday, October 18th. Hosted by Bob Harrigan.
From ABC7.
All proceeds benefit Dante's Den. For more information, go to dantesden.org/topdog.
Dante's Den Foundation is proud to thank our supporters for this year's Top Dog event being held October 18th at the Sarasota Municipal Auditorium. The support of these donors and many others have made this state-of-the-art facility a reality. For more information on Dante's Den or for tickets to the Top Dog fundraiser, visit our website, dantesden.org.
For thousands of years, we've been humans' best friend. You've been through a lot, and we've been right there with you. A dog is part of the family, a confidant, and a friend who always knows how to get into your heart. So what happens to our beloved companions when we can no longer care for them? This is why we've created Dante's Den, an innovative, state-of-the-art facility that will provide care for up to 100 dogs.
Dante's Den is a community for joyful dogs.
Millions of Americans face uncertainty when planning for the future of beloved pets who may well outlive them. Dante's Den is a charitable organization, so in whatever capacity you can, please lend your support so that we may continue this most wonderful work.
Dante and I would like to thank you for watching and for also opening up your hearts to our wonderful community of joyful dogs.
Learn about the many ways you could become involved by visiting dantesden.org.
All right, buddy, let's go.
Life changed for veterinarian Len Lucera nearly 2 years ago after an exam on a newborn piglet.
He was under a pound, so he was probably about the size of his little duck friend. He was brought into the clinic where I was working to be euthanized because he didn't have back legs and the owner wasn't able to care for him.
After examining him, Dr. Lucero determined that other than the issues with his back legs, the pig was in perfect health. So Len adopted the pig and gave him a home.
Nobody was in his corner. So I was his voice, and, you know, I spoke for him. So, and he's paid us back.
In fact, it only took a couple of weeks before this pig, dubbed Chris P. Bacon, became an internet sensation.
I said, there's got to be something I can do for this little guy.
And he fit in the palms of your hands
Oh,
at that point.
yeah, he was tiny. And when he was walking around, he was actually raising his butt off the air and taking a couple steps and then fall down. I said, there's got to be something. So I looked into some wheelchairs for dogs. But they're all big. Therefore, you know, even one for a small dachshund is way too big for him at that time. So I said, you know, I'm going to make it out of K'NEX.
Len took video of Chris testing out his new wheels and posted it on YouTube, and it went viral. To date, this video has more than 2 million views and counting. These days, Chris is sporting a new, larger set of wheels, more fit to his growing body.
He's a year and a half.
He's a year and a half. What health is he showing at this point?
Oh,
Good health?
Oh, yeah, he is progressing great. You know, some of the key things that we look at, especially in pigs, is how's their appetite. That's the first thing that goes. When a pig gets sick, they stop eating. And a pig that's not eating, that's
a problem.
It's strange. Yeah, it's definitely odd. So he's, you know, we watch him closely, and he's just done so well.
What is his average day?
Oh, well, he gets, usually I wake up first. He's real quiet, and the second he hears footsteps, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. So, you know, he gets fed before anybody gets coffee.
Well, that's really something, isn't it?
Yeah, if you don't feed him first, you don't enjoy your coffee. So,
and what do you feed him?
he eats a miniature horse and pony pellet. It's something that's high in fiber, and you know, this way, try and keep his weight down. The only thing he gets aside from that is occasional grapes. I lead on that he gets a lot more grapes than he actually gets, but he just loves them so much.
Where does he sleep?
He has his own bed.
Of course.
Yeah, I've you know, we've tried letting him sleep with us, but his hooves hurt.
Really?
And
Does he kind of kick you a little bit?
And his fur is pokey. So, you know, no, he can have his own. Yeah. So this way he gets his own bed, and he's got his blankets, his favorite stuff that he sleeps with. So
Chris P. Bacon and Len are capitalizing on their newfound fame, penning a couple of books already, and a film is in the works.
It's not really telling about his life and what all, you know, day one to now. It's more of a, I'm Chris P. Bacon. I'm going to go on an adventure, and I'm going to do this. And I figured that an animation is much better because I'm a veterinarian and I get very few days off. So I figured this is the best way to, you know, use him without having to drive him all over.
He does not know that he's handicapped, does he?
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't even know he's a pig. So for him, he's just, you know, one of the family.
How has he inspired you as well as others?
Oh, geez, he has just been, you know, he's actually opened my eyes to a lot of things that typically you would walk by without noticing. You know, just how much happiness animals bring to everybody.
So if somebody does have a pet that is either deformed by birth, such as Chris was, or becomes paralyzed, what would you say to them? Bring them to their vet?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But not for euthanasia.
Right, to get assessed. Because a lot of times they may have an abnormality, born with an abnormality, but it's not a lethal abnormality. It's something that they can live with. We do all that we can, and that's really doing right by the animal, and I think that's just the best thing ever.
If you want to learn more about Chris P. Bacon, you can find all his adventures online at chrispbacon.org. Next on Animal Outtakes.
I mean, if every patient was like her, I'd have the easiest job in the world, because she was awesome. But also, if you gave her a fish, she would do anything you said.
We sit down with the man who was able to help an injured dolphin get back into the water.
Well, it's that time again. Time for the second annual Top Dog competition.
Yay! What is that?
Top Dog is the area's premier dog lovers event, featuring categories like Best Dress,
I can do that.
Best Hair,
Maybe not my thing.
and Best Kisser
Don't even think about it.
at the Sarasota Municipal Auditorium on Saturday, October 18th. Hosted by Bob Harrigan
From ABC7.
All proceeds benefit Dante's Den. For more information, go to dantesden.org/topdog.
And now, here's Bud and Lou.
Can you believe this? I'm a lame duck. Broke my legs in a bad landing. Oh, good. Here comes the doctor. Well, Mr. Lou, you've gotten yourself into quite a pickle. Pickles. So am I gonna make it, Dr. Short? Yes, well, it's Dr. Schwartz. I don't know where you got that other name. Yeah, no, I don't know where I got it from. In a few weeks, you'll be fine. But, Mr. Lou, you are very stressed. And I noticed that your friend, Mr. Bud, gives you much agitation. You must not see him for a while. Bud? But he's my best friend. Yes, well, I am your doctor, and it's doctor's orders. Remember, quiet and relaxation. Oh, and Doc? Yes, thanks. Quiet and relaxation. Here I am, buddy boy. Don't you think you should open the window? I thought it was open. There. Hi, Bud. Look, I gotta tell you... Look at you. You're a special needs animal. Well, don't worry, pal. Old Bud is here to help. Don't land there. You serious? Look, I don't need no help. The doctor says I'm stressed out. So... Sure, well, you're stressed. Because you need a little exercise. Let's just get you up on your feet. No, what? No, hold on. No, wait a minute. I can just push you around and you could go anywhere. Hey, you know, this ain't so bad. Look at me. And you can see where you're going? No, can't see a thing. Oh, there. Now I can see. Oops. You know you're falling, right? Oh, I don't care anymore. I can't believe you pushed me out the window. Well, it looks like this is the end, my friend. Why? Your wings still work, don't they? Oh yeah. Now, sorry about that. Better get you back up there, I guess. Oh no, after you. Well, thank you, Lewis. Quiet and relaxation. And now it's time for the furry and famous Animal Outtakes VI Pets.
Well, I met Potter on ABC7 New News. I immediately noticed him across the studio, and I loved how his ears sat. They just spoke to me right away. You know, I thought, what a neat looking dog, and he's obviously got a nice personality. We weren't looking for a dog, but by the end of that weekend, we had Potter here at home. Potter's named after Harry Potter. About the time we got him, Reese and I had just finished reading all the Harry Potter books, and so we felt a real strong connection to that and wanted to name him after one of the characters. Severus Snape and Hermione just didn't roll off the tongue, plus, so we went with Potter after Harry Potter. We think he's about 2 years old now, yeah. We think he's some beagle, and then based on the size and his body type, it looks like there's some terrier there. He'll dig on occasion in the yard, and I think that's sort of a rat terrier sort of breed there. He's a mutt, and that's what we like. We always like to adopt mutts if we can. This is our third adopted dog, and he's great. He tends to come in and curl up next to me. But he doesn't stay there. He only stays for a little while. Once I fall asleep, he goes and he sleeps on his comfortable couch. He has the rule of the house, pretty much anywhere he wants to go. He likes to chew, but he'll only chew his toys, his bones, but he goes through a lot of them. And so we always have to keep a fresh supply for him. And she loves to take him for walks, or maybe it's a run, because she likes to rollerblade, right? So she'll take him on a rollerblade ride around the neighborhood, and he loves that. He's fast. He's really fast. He loves to run. We have a fenced-in yard, so he just tears through there. Likes to chase squirrels, never catches them, but he loves to do that. He's just a great member of the family. I think dogs bring happiness to homes, and he really does that. You can come home from a bad day at work, and he will cheer you up immediately because he's so happy to see you, and he wants to play. And so I would think he fills our house with happiness. He really does a good job of that.
Dan, this is one famous tale, isn't it?
It sure is, man.
And who does this belong to?
The most famous dolphin in the world, Winter.
Dan Stremka has quite the story to tell. 9 years ago, he was tapped to create a prosthetic tail for a dolphin who lost her tail getting tangled in a crab-trapped line. Winter found her way to the Clearwater Aquarium, and her story has now been made into 2 major motion pictures. So tell us, what did you think when they called you and they said, we need a tail?
Actually, I didn't know what to think. I know the guy that called me very well, and I know he's not a big joker or a practical joker. And it was shocking, but exciting. There was a huge learning curve on this because, I mean, I studied humans for 7 years. I never studied dolphin in my life. So the first thing we had to do, or I had to do, was literally I spent 4 weeks at Montmarine Marine in the research library researching everything I could find on dolphins or marine mammals, and just to see their physiology, their anatomy, just to make sure we weren't going the wrong direction. And that helped tremendously. And then during that time, I would be up there just hanging out with Winter and the trainers, and just learning as much as we could about her, but also how the other dolphins that were there at the time function, and watch them, videotape them swimming, see how the tail actually functioned.
Dan and his team at Hanger Prosthetics had to figure out not just how to build that tail, but how to keep it on, and how it would affect the dolphin's sensitive but tough skin.
It's interesting because it can tolerate more pressure over a broad area, because they can go very deep in the water that we can't. Our skin wouldn't be able to have circulation. But for localized pressure, it's very tender. And also, if there's ever a cut or sore, it takes forever to heal because they're in salt water. We need to make something sticky, make something very soft and very elastic so it wouldn't put too much pressure on her. And that's when we came up with Winter's Gel, the liner that she wears. And we actually did that first.
Dan has made several different versions of Winter's tail, adjusting for the dolphin's growing size and improving on the design as Winter has learned how to use it.
Then once we got the full size here, we're like, okay, she's missing the joint and a lot of muscles. Let's do something that will mechanically help her, which the joints start coming in. Even with that, we started with something similar to this material that was just really flexible like a hinge. They didn't do anything for her except for the tail was able to move more. She did great with that, so then we went with what we use for prosthetic feet. Something that if I put 10 pounds of force in, it gives me 10 pounds of force back. So it physically helps me and replace some of those muscles I lost in movement. And that's the same thing we did. And once we got to that point with the kind of the recipe that works, then we just built one for growth, or once you wore them out, about every 6 months.
Now, does this tail stay on her all the time, or does it come off?
No, she wears it about hour and a half, about 2 to 3 hours a day. and it's usually in like therapy sessions. Dolphins expel all their heat through their tail, so we don't want to overheat her. Also, she's in there with another dolphin, Hope, and before Panama, they play rough, and we don't want to use it as a weapon. But also, we can't watch her that close all the time, so we don't want to make sure it's going to hurt her.
While he enjoys helping animals like Winter, Dan says it's his human patients that inspire him every day.
All that said, I mean, I got the best job in the world. I mean, literally no one, I'll compare my job to anybody around. I literally come in, someone wheels in, they walk out. Prosthetic patients you'll have your whole life, and you really get to know them. There's a relationship there, it's awesome.
So you're actually in a happy business.
Oh my God, yeah, no, it's awesome. It's not, it's, you don't go home feeling bad many days at all. I mean, it's like we were talking about the aquarium. I've never left that place on cloud 8. I'm always on cloud 9, you know, it's just, no matter what kind of day you're having, you go there, you take a kid there, show them, you know, trying to inspire them. It's awesome.
And that's it for this episode of Animal Outtakes. We hope that these animals and the people helping them have inspired you not to give up when faced with a challenge, no matter how big or small.
Well, they sure have inspired me. Well, Lou inspires me every day. I do? Yeah, if a bird with a mental condition can do a TV show, then anything's possible.
You gonna let him get away with that?
If you want to call being a genius a mental condition, I guess. Touché, my friend.
Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next week for another outstanding animal adventure.